The transitional periods between technological eras sometimes produce machines that retire in a matter of several years. Other times, the opposite happens. Tanks and aircraft created using past technologies remain in service for decades. The American F-8 Crusader fighter belongs to the latter category. It was the last U.S. fighter whose cannons were the primary firepower, which even earned it the unofficial nickname, the Last Gunfighter. At the same time, the F-8 joined the list of the earliest adopters of guided missiles. Vought engineers were mostly considering the experience gained in past wars, but at the same time, they gave the Crusader enough potential to fight the supersonic planes of the future. The F-8 engineers had to meet the tight requirements of the Naval Command. The new carrier-based aircraft was expected to achieve Mach 1.2 at altitude, show a climb rate of 127 meters per second, and have the capability of landing at a speed of 160 kilometers an hour, tens and even hundreds lower than ground-based aircraft. There was one reason for the military command to dictate such tight limits. The future jet would have to be able to land on the compact Essex-class carriers built during World War II. And so, a Vought team headed by John Russell Clark accepted the challenge. In order to solve such a complex task, they created a fighter model with a variable incidence wing. During takeoff and landing, it could adjust its angle of attack, which improved the lift. In all other regards, the Crusader remained a pretty typical fighter for the time. It had a swept-back wing that followed the area rule design. Its forward-firing armament included 4 20mm cannons in the nose. The experience of Sabre deployment in the Korean War proved that pilots needed more than regular Brownings. Despite the unusually sophisticated wing design, the development and trial stages of the new aircraft went smoothly. In 1953, Vought won the competition for the next carrier-based aircraft, and in 2 years, the first prototype completed its maiden flight. The aircraft went on to join the Navy under the designation of F-8U, setting a few records along the way. The new design, however, led to the higher incident rate of the plane. Few pilots had a confident skill with all the capabilities of the wing. From the technical point of view, the Crusader was reliable enough. The newest creation of the engineers met all the requirements of the military. It could land and take off from all existing aircraft carriers. Besides, the Crusader's flight performance was later improved with the addition of new engines. Later modifications of the plane even received guided missiles, the bullpup against ground targets, and the Sidewinder for aerial combat. The F-8 became one of the most effective American fighters in the early stages of the Vietnam War. At first, the Soviet MiGs had the upper hand against the fast Phantoms, mostly due to the lack of guns on the latter. The onboard equipment and the guided missiles still could not fully replace the close-range armament. The Crusader, however, was a perfect fit for that conflict, helping the American pilots to achieve numerous victories. Nevertheless, the F-8 remained a plane of the past, despite all its advantages. It wasn't made for supersonic combat or truly powerful onboard devices. So in the 1970s, 20 years after it was accepted into service, all combat Crusaders were retired. The reconnaissance version went on to serve until the end of the Cold War, while the last F-8 units almost made it to the millennium. They were retired in December 1999. Those planes were part of the French naval aviation.